This is Monterey's Cookin Pisto Style, featuring restaurateur and master chef John Pisto.
Hi, I'm John Pisto. Welcome to Monterey's Cookin Pisto Style, coming to you from beautiful Monterey County in California. Today I'm going to do something a little unusual. I've never seen it done on TV before. And it's an Italian dish. Also, you see it a lot in France. And it's a potato gnocchi, which is a potato dumpling that the Italians like to fix with tomato and the French like to fix it with the meat sauce. I'm doing this particular dish because come September, the late September, actually about the 29th, I'm going to be hosting a cruise, and it's called, the Royal Cruise Line is the line, and it's called Romance of the Riviera. We'll be departing from Rome, be doing a little Portofino, and then down to Tunis, and along the Italian Riviera, Saint-Tropez, Sète, Marseille, Monte Carlo, and even in Corsica. So what I'm going to be doing a series of programs doing some of the dishes from these ports. I think this is probably a good indication of what you'll find in Portofino and in Nice. I've eaten them there myself many times, but I want to show you how to do them today. What you got to do is start with some boiled potatoes. Now use the kind of bacon potato. Don't use those red potatoes. You got to use a bacon potato that's dry, and that has some firmness to it. This is called a potato ricer. I think it's pretty available all over. I never have any problems finding it. As you know, or maybe you don't know, I have 4 restaurants here in Monterey, and in 2 of them we serve gnocchi, of course, with different sauces. Now, make sure the potatoes are cold. Another very important thing. Okay, look. And you put them in here, and you push. And you push. And you push. Now for your little ladies, maybe be a good idea to have your husband do this for you, because there's some pressure involved. See how nice that comes? And what you want to do is you want to break all the lumps up. Okay? And you keep pushing. I'll just make a small portion. Now, you can do these in a mixer after you've riced them, though. You have to rice them. And I haven't found any better way to do it than to use this apparatus. It's a little bit of work. Okay, let me tell you, the secret of this is 2 things. Make sure the potatoes are cooked very well, and also have a cameraman that's about 6'8" around that weighs about 300 pounds to help you do these if you don't cook them enough. So cook the potatoes enough. Okay, real easy. Okay, next. Okay, we've got the potato. Now I'm going to add 2 cups of flour. 1. These are half cups. That's about 2 cups of flour. And I'm going to grate some fresh nutmeg. You can use the already grated nutmeg if you like, but this has such a nice, strong flavor to it that I like to use this. I'm sure this is available all over the place. Okay, grate. I'm going to grate maybe a good half anyway. Okay. Put that back. Boy, that smells nice and strong. Okay. And then I'm going to add some pepper. And in this case, I'd like to add some white pepper because otherwise you're going to see all those black spots in there. And we don't want that, okay? Add a little bit of white pepper. And add some salt. There's a teaspoon or so. And then we're going to cut our eggs in. I'm going to put 1 egg, I think, for every 6. 1 egg for every 6. Now you got to remember, the potato is going to have a lot of moisture to it. Now we don't want this to be too gummy. So we're going to do 1 egg per 6 potatoes. What we're going to do is we'll make a dough out of this. And if it's a little dry, we'll add that other egg to it. Because all we want this to is to make a nice dough. Now this should take about 8, 9, 10 minutes. If you have one of those big mixers that has a paddle on it, I've done it in that, and then I put the dough hook, and that works very, very good. We do that at the restaurant, and it works real good. But you know, there's a certain amount of therapeutic value to hand doing these things. See how this is starting to form a dough already? So I think it's safe to say 1 egg per 6 potatoes. And those were, what, mediums? Okay, we're doing this. Got a good 5 minutes into it. Now we're going to add ricotta. This is an Italian cheese, very similar to cottage cheese. See how it has soft? This is going to, I'm doing a tablespoon, just 2 tablespoons. Okay, we're going to give this 10 minutes, and then we'll have our dough ready, and we can start rolling this stuff out to make our actual gnocchis. Okay, we'll be right back. Okay, after about 15 minutes, it should gather. You should have yourself a nice dough. See how nice that falls? And how you test it to make sure you have the right one. Wait a minute here. It's my little scraper. Is to see how that, you see that? Like the little dough boy? You see? That's the quality you want. Okay. Okay, now we can start working this, and we want to cover it, otherwise it's going to form like a little crust on it. And we don't want it to be crusty. We'll do a little bit of flour. And we've let this rest a little bit. See, it still has that nice dough consistency. Okay. We'll chop off a little piece. This, by the way, is called a bowl scraper, used by bakers. You can see it fits around the bowl. This comes in handy when I'm working on a table. Okay, so what we're doing now is we want these to be as big as your finger. If you got fat fingers like me, you gotta go a little skinnier than this. Otherwise, it's too big. Now, I've seen gnocchi that are very small. I've seen them bigger. I've seen some that have been rolled with the fork, which I'll show you in a minute. And then I've seen some that are not rolled. Okay, cut. And you go boom. And you see, is this in your way? Okay, just like this. Now, at our restaurants, we don't like to roll them off the fork. We just do them like this. Okay. Make sure it has a flour on them, otherwise it might get a little sticky. Now, when I say roll off the fork, this is what I mean. You see? And this is maybe kind of neat if you want that sauce to kind of hang on to these little ridges. So, you know, once you get going with it and keep a little flour on, you can just whip these babies off. They've got a little contraption too that's made out of wood that even makes this easier. I don't know. Use it any way you want. You don't have to do them this way. But I just wanted to show you the classic gnocchi. See? And then when you're finished, what you do is you have some flour in a container here. What we're going to do is just place them here. Now, from this point too, you can put them in the freezer, and they freeze up beautifully. And if you want to cook them right out of the freezer, right into the hot water. And I'll show you how easy it is to cook. Let me make up a nice big dish of these, and then I'll show you how we're going to combine the sauces. And I'm going to put a red sauce on one side and a white sauce on the other side. Okay, we'll be right back. See how nice these turned out? And you put a little flour in them. You know, we did a taste test when we were on this beautiful cruise, you know, the Royal Cruise Line cruise we were talking about. And we tried to compare the ones on Portofino, which is in the northern Italy, in the Italian Riviera, and the ones in Nice. Now, I have to tell you, I think the ones from Nice were a little better. My Italian friends aren't going to like me for that. Well, let me put it this way. Maybe the people that owned that restaurant in Nice were Italian. How's that? That should save me, okay? All right, now we're going to do the nice gorgonzola sauce. Gorgonzola is a very strong blue vein cheese. It's Italian. Got some real fortissimo to it. Now this is the sweet one. Don't use the eating type one, because that's not. It's going to be way too strong and it's going to be overpowering. We don't want to do that. We want to get some heavy cream that I had here. Okay, we're not going to need too much. Okay, a little heavy cream, and we're going to reduce this. So I'm going to put it on very high heat, and we're going to grate a little nutmeg. Remember that nice fresh grated nutmeg? See that? Oh, doesn't that look good? And what I'm going to do is we're going to give this a little white pepper. And we're going to reduce this until it becomes a sauce. All right? This is going to take a few minutes. So we'll let this come up to a boil and we'll reduce it. Probably shouldn't take us more than about 3 minutes. Okay, now we've got all these ingredients working. Now remember, this is about 3 cups of heavy cream. Now as soon as this comes up to a boil, it'll have a tendency to boil over, so you got to be right on it. Do not leave the stove for a minute. All right? Now, let me talk a little bit about this gorgonzola. You have several types of gorgonzola. This is called a sweet gorgonzola. You don't want to use the other type because it is going to be too strong. Now, if you taste this, it's just delicious, real creamy. It's not really that sweet, but if you tasted the other ones, it's much, much sharper. Okay, just ask for a sweet gorgonzola. They'll know what you mean. You can get it at good cheese shops, or big supermarkets should have them too, or specialty gourmet shops. Now what we want to do, I haven't added salt to this because this is salty. We just got nutmeg and white pepper. I don't know, what did we put, a teaspoon? Good, maybe about a quarter of a whole nutmeg. We just want, that tastes good. Okay, this is going to go pretty quickly. But we want that to coat that spoon. See, that's getting there pretty fast. See, you got to be right on. Don't leave. Now, in the meantime, have your water ready here. Now, I've already made a tomato sauce, and you know that's in our cookbook, and it's already made. I made it up ahead of time. It's just a little basic. Watch it. You see what happens when you walk away from this? Lower the heat. And let's put the heat on for our water. This has got salt in it. And what I'm going to do is start to cook these. Now these will slide right off. Now these you'll know they're done when they float right to the top. All right? We got our colander ready. Let that come up to a boil. I'm just going to put the lid on just for a second. Okay, see is it coating? Yep, sure is. Let's add some of our cheese now. We don't want to add a ton. That's what, a good tablespoon? And this will melt real quickly. 3 tablespoons. This is about a 1.5 pound chunk. Okay, let me wash my hand. All right. See how that melts real easy. And then we're going to check it for salt. This should come back up to a boil. See how that's just blending right in there? Oh boy, is that good. There's just enough of that cheese. Now if you may want it a little stronger, like I like mine a little bit more powerful. You know what else? This would go great over a steak. It really would. See how easy that melts? That's why we use that kind of cheese, folks. Now I just put the lid on just so that the temperature would come up a lot faster. And let's pull that off. Now these guys are done as soon as they come to the top. I like to give them just a little bit extra. Let's move this out of the way. See, this sauce is ready to go. Let's taste it for salt. Just a little bit of salt. Boy, is that good. We'll put that on low. This is all hot, ready to go. I want to let our gnocchi cook. Now let me get my dishes ready. All right. See this? Real easy. Okay, here we go, folks. Take it right to the colander. Okay. Take this back. Now let's put a little bit in here. Look at how nice those look, huh? Drain them well. A little bit here. And let's spoon some of this lovely sauce. If you wanted to put a little butter in here to make it a little richer, you may. However, this is going to be rich enough. Okay, and then we're going to use our one with tomato sauce. You can see the nice pieces of garlic in there. Okay, and I think we got a dish of gnocchis, folks. How's that? Little bit of cheese. Okay, you know what? I am getting real anxious to try this. Little bit of fresh cracked pepper on both. Now, this is my wife's favorite. My daughter Gia, she loves gnocchi. Now these, you have to make sure these are they have to be very light. If they're not real light and airy, these are going to sit like little balls of lead in your stomach. Very big secret. You got to add that ricotta cheese. Melt in your mouth. Oh, that's incredible. Very good. Better than very good. Now, this is the one with the sauce. Oh boy. See the sauce nice and thick? Very proud of myself with this. This is going to be delicious. Make these. You have a lot of fun making them, and they're delicious.